Oh, what's going on, people? We're live. Rants in the building, obviously. KP's back again. And yeah,
Yes.
what you saying, bro?
What's good, bro? All good, man. Just rushing back now, back on the grind, innit? I didn't even know it was bank holiday today.
Bro, neither did
Put it that way. Yeah.
I.
I was just working all day. Obviously
Yeah,
now, like, we're allowed to be out on the road, so kind of like doing social distance PT. So
yeah.
like in parks and all that. So yeah, it's been good. It's been a good day today.
What's it like training out? Bro, I've never trained a client outside, bro. I hate it, you know?
No, do you know? So I can't really I'm not a fair weather guy. I'm a fair weather guy, I should say, even when it comes to football now. Like back in the day, like going to football and your toes are cold and then man stamp on it. I can't do that anymore. So
Yeah,
in the summer, it's actually sick. Like I prefer it in the summer. Obviously, the only thing you're missing is a pull-up bar. So it's
yeah.
hard to train back. But I've got parallettes in it, so I can just bring them out and then we can do like rows and dips. We can still do a lot of pull stuff, but with the
Yeah.
parallettes. And then obviously you got TRX resistance tubes. And I managed to get everything in my car, bro. So I bring a barbell out. I bring out 100 kilos on the bar. I bring out big dumbbells. So for me, it's like a full gym, bro. I bring
Bro,
a gym out.
suspension in your car must be taking a hammering, though, bro. Got 100 kilos on the bar, bro.
Bro, you need to see it. When people see me, they're like, every single person who walks past is like, they can't understand where the bar comes from. I just laugh,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah,
Nah,
I just laugh.
that is wild, bro. Like I can't. Like, even when I
Yeah,
train outdoors, I literally I'll just go like Battersea Park or something, and I'm just on the bars. That's it.
yeah,
I just need bars, bro.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
parallel bars, some pull-up bars, and that's it, bro. Like I couldn't imagine training a client, and then none of them are fit enough to do that. You get me? So
But you see what you just said? The problem is your pain threshold has to be high because it's like, if that's your workout, 20 minutes, and most people are gassed.
yeah, for sure.
You need the variety.
Yeah,
You need the
nah, for
variety.
sure. But then man will I'll superset it and do different things. You get me? So
Yeah, yeah.
like you could easily do like you could bang out pull-ups and then dips or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You could do a bit of core
Mm,
or hanging from the bar, like just do loads of
yeah,
different things. And then I'll do that. I'll do my wide pull-ups, fatigue, and then I'll just gradually get closer. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do different things like that. You can do push-ups on the parallel bar so you can get your chest obviously below the ground because you're on the parallel. So I do push-ups and dips on the parallel bars as well. Do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
So
You're
yeah,
right.
it's calm, bro.
Yeah.
It's calm. Like
That's
that's
like Battersea Park. I've been training there for years. I like Battersea Park's like classic. To be honest, Clapham Common, I've
yeah,
probably got a better. I've got better calisthenic parks now. Like
yeah,
Battersea Park is a bit random, isn't it? Because
yeah,
they got bars, but a lot of it's too low. So whereas Clapham Common, there's like 5 of them. But what you have to do is you have to get the right one because some days you go. I think right now it's locked off anyway. I haven't been this like since the
right. Yeah,
lockdown.
it has
But
been.
basically, it's been locked. But there's one
Yeah,
side of it where no one goes to, but it's got everything. So it's got like 8 chin up bars and like 4 lines of dip bars. It's sick. And then like 8 push up bars on the floor. So you can just
yeah.
go in there and get a sick workout done. It's cold.
Wavy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that's calm. But yeah, the guys were saying from the last one, like fat
Mm.
loss, yeah, or weight loss as they like to call it, in it. But
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
I don't think anyone, unless you're a fighter, you don't do the weight loss thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't. When people say I want to lose weight, like you don't want to lose weight, bro. Like first of all, do you know what I mean? People need to understand.
Well, yeah, yeah, and no. So yeah, for sure. I think the first thing we should start with is like what you just started on. We need to define the difference.
Hmm.
Do you see what I mean? Because obviously, what you get and what's obviously often misconstrued is whether people want weight loss or they want fat loss.
Hmm.
And generally speaking, I don't like to bring sex into it too much, but this is usually dependent on the sexes a lot and often. So, for example, a lot of women, for example, may come to you and refer to weight loss
Hmm.
when often they don't necessarily need weight loss. They need to lose body fat.
Yeah.
And then a lot of guys, for example, may come to you and be like, I want to lose fat. I want to lose fat. But sometimes they could do is losing some weight. And then often the two can kind of overlap.
Yeah.
So I think like if I use myself as an example, just to make it easy, I like my set weight. So my set point, I feel, and it's changed I'm 30 now. I'm 31 next month. And so in the last 5 years, I feel like my set weight has gone up by like a kilo every year. So
Yeah.
5 years ago, my set weight would be like 82, 83 kilos. And then if I was being really clean, I'd get down to 81. And if I let myself slack, I'd be at 85.
Yeah.
And then recently now, my set point's closer to like 85, 86. But if
Yeah.
I'm being clean, I can get as low as 83, but it's kind of a fight. But now
Yeah.
if I slack, I can get up to 88 based upon my current diet. And so the point is that at 85, I look cool. 83, I'm lean. But some people who know me and see me a lot might start saying I look very skinny.
Yeah.
88 is when people start making comments saying I look hench, but I don't like that look on me because I feel thick and I feel lethargic. So I think people need to understand the difference between where weight loss and body fat comes in, because it's a fine line, and it's like it's a nuance to it. Do you see what I mean? In that, like, sometimes people actually just want to lose fat, and sometimes people do need to lose weight. And I think we need to kind of, a lot of these diets that are out there promoting and promising weight loss are not necessarily promising the right thing or in the right way. So I think, if I think we could start with that as a definitive. So fat loss is simple. I want to lose body fat. So what we mean by that when we say fat loss, I think we say this. We say, look, if you looked in the mirror, are you concerned about what you see, or are you concerned about the number on the scales? So if the number on the scales, and like you said, if you're a fighter and you need to make weight categories, then the number on the scales is the priority. So therefore, that's weight loss. Obviously, they're trying to maintain as much muscle mass as possible, but weight is the primary goal there.
Yeah.
And then if you're someone who says, all I want to do is look better in the mirror, obviously weight loss is probably going to happen as a byproduct of fat loss. But really what you're saying is, I want to lose body fat. I think we need to start by defining the difference between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people just want to lose body fat because your average client wants to look better. Let's face it, innit?
Yeah.
Just your average person as well that come up to you that say, oh, I want to lose weight. It's because they want to look better. Do you know what I mean? It's not because they want to make a certain weight, because there'll be people that say, I'll say to a client, a prospective client before, I say, all right, cool. What weight do you want to get down to? And all they keep saying is, I know I feel good or I look good at this weight. But when they were 9 stone, and how they looked at 9 stone. So they're saying, I want to get back down to 9 stone, but they don't want to get back down to 9 stone. They just want to look and feel how they did when they were 9 stone. They could look like that at 9.5 stone if their body composition is correct. They could even look better at 9.5 stone than they did at 9 stone. Do you know what I mean? It's all about body composition. So a lot of the time, when they say, right, I want to lose a stone, they just want to, it's all about the feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think it's good. I'm looking in the comments, actually. Someone says, I haven't had any sugar 32 days, but I still have a belly, especially during the night. Doesn't show in the morning. So it's interesting. So a few things we could look at. I think one of the things we need to think about is that we can fluctuate kind of anything from like 1 to maybe up to 3 kilos a day, depending on water and digestion. So I think the real judge of your weight would be your wake up weight. So when you're fasted, obviously, from sleeping. But also for that person, when you say haven't had any sugar, do you mean like refined sugars, like sweets, chocolates, cakes? We need to define what sugar is, because carbohydrates are a sugar, meaning rice, potato, anything like that. We need to kind of be specific about that. And then also we need to look at maybe they're having dinner too close to bedtime.
Yep.
Like the digestive issues, or maybe the meal in the evening is a bit too heavy.
Yep.
So that's something to bear in mind, like for a belly in the night. But I mean, my belly's bigger in the evening than it is in the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that's not that much of a problem.
But it depends also, like, as I said, what time do you have your last meal and what is in that last meal?
Yeah.
I always wake up lean in the morning, but the way I eat, my biggest meal is always lunch, innit? Always. It should be. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. Like, I do intermittent fasting naturally anyway. I just don't eat breakfast. I'm not hungry in the morning.
Okay.
But I'll eat my first meal after midday. Always. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll have like a smoothie in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Or a juice in the morning. But it will just be fruit and vegetables, or just vegetable. Like, it will never be like anything heavy. So I'll have my first meal.
To do the celery juice.
Yeah, I drink celery juice. I've got the celery.
I've got popular, isn't it?
Lemon and ginger, bruv, in my celery as well for the immune system, bruv.
Yeah.
So man has that. and I drink that throughout the day, like a big thing of celery juice, and
Yeah.
literally, my first meal is a big meal, bro. Like I'll break my fast with a big meal of pretty much whatever I want. Like if I want loads of carbs, I'll have loads of carbs, whatever. Then in the evening, it's a light meal, bro. Like, and then I
Yeah.
wake up and I feel great. But I don't like
Mm.
eating late, because if I eat late, I wake up still bloated, still feeling full, and I feel rubbish, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So it's interesting. So the guy said junk food like chocolate, crisp, etc. So he still probably needs to look at his portion sizes of carbohydrates, so whether there's any refined carbohydrates in the diet, such as like white rice, white potatoes,
Hmm.
things like that. These things are going to be heavier. And even if he's having a lot of meat, like I know you don't eat meat anymore, and I've
Hmm.
kind of cut my meat down a lot. Even things like that, they take a while to pass through the systems. If you have a big amount in the evening, even though they're proteins and they're good for you, it
Yeah.
can give you that bloated look or feeling if they
That
haven't passed through the system.
100% meat gives you that bloated feeling, bro. If you eat a lot of it, because obviously the
Yeah,
digestion time is a lot. It's a lot slower. Do you know what I'm saying? Like your body,
especially red meat.
yeah, exactly. Your body takes a lot longer to break down the meat anyway, and just the way proteins and everything is processed. Obviously, like there's thermogenic effects and stuff like that. Yeah, but it still
Mm,
takes a while to digest food, bro. Like even when
yeah,
you think about even when you think about like carnivores and the animals and that, bro. Like once a lion
yeah,
eats, bro, it sleeps, rude boy.
yeah. It's down. Yeah,
That's
100%.
it. It'll clap,
Yeah,
it'll eat the antelope, and then it's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm lying down, bro.
yeah,
Like that's what
yeah,
it does to you, bro. Meat slumps you, bro. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It
yeah,
takes
yeah,
a while to process. So if you're eating a lot of meat as well, and you're eating a lot of food late at night, bro, it's long. You know what I'm saying? Like you will
yeah,
wake up feeling rubbish. Like I always like to kind of have in the evening a light meal. If I'm gonna have like a lot of carbs in a day, I'll make sure that I have most of my carbs in my first meal around lunchtime, and then in the evening, it's normally a salad thing or it's vegetables or something with whatever in it, and it's quite light. Something that's gonna pass through your system quite quickly. Do you know what I mean? So I just think,
this
yeah,
is good. There's a good couple questions here. So someone said I'm trying to put on weight and muscle. That's it's quite with that question, we just need to we've got it's quite hard to say because we need a lot of background for that.
yeah,
So you need to know someone's weight. So the best thing is to send me a DM on Insta or Rants and kind of give us that information, like what you're currently eating, what you weigh, how much weight you want to put on, because quite generic and broad. You say I want to put on weight and muscle. It's like most people want to put on a bit of muscle,
but
right?
also,
So
why do you want to put on weight
yeah,
though? Why? Like,
yeah.
what is it? Do you know what I mean?
Is it
Because
for is it yeah? Is it aesthetic, which is okay? Like I want to
yeah,
look a certain way, or is it for physical purposes, such as like we said, fighting? Like you want to go up a weight category in boxing or something like that?
because the thing is, if you just want to look better and you feel like you'll look better bigger, bro, like sometimes the best way to look bigger is to lose body fat, bro. Like, believe it or
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
you know the man.
yeah,
A lot of people
yeah,
think that actually putting on muscle, yeah, is gonna make them look good. But the thing is, if you're not lean enough, sometimes you can just look fat, bro.
yeah, yeah.
See what I'm saying? So a lot of the time, like when people see me and they're like, right, you look like you put on weight, I've actually lost it, bro. Do you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It's just one of them ones where you just look more cut, you look bigger. Literally, the lower your body fat is, the bigger you look, which is why bodybuilders go down to like 3% body fat because it makes their muscles look bigger. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? So sometimes when people want to put on weight to look better, sometimes you just need to strip some layers of body fat off. Do you know what I mean? It just depends
yeah,
on what you're built like genetically. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're naturally
yeah,
skinny or something like that, it's a bit different. But sometimes there's
mm,
guys that are a decent weight, bro. If you're male and you're around 75 to 80 kilos, yeah, and you're saying, right, I want to put on muscle, the chances are you just need to lose some body fat, bro.
yeah. If you're at the average height, obviously, if you're tall, then it's
Yeah,
different.
if you're tall,
Yeah,
but if you're between, say, like 5'7" and 5'11", and you're around 80 kilos, do you know what I'm saying? You can look athletic at the 80 kilos, bro, if you lose a bit of weight.
yeah. There's a
So
lot of good questions. I like this. I like this question. Hi, what would be your footballer diet? 175 and weigh 68 kilos. I'm a winger, want to be more leaner. So that's my height and 20 kilos lighter than me. And I would not recommend, if you're on the wing, I would not recommend unless you're natural, unless you're, what's that guy? What's the Barcelona guy who's now at Wolves? What's his name?
I know you're talking
What's his
about
name? The winger.
Traore.
You know what I'm talking about. Unless
Traore.
you're Traore
Yeah,
and you can still move faster than anyone with all that muscle, I
yeah,
wouldn't be heavier than 73 kilos as a 175 winger.
yeah. But
I wouldn't be heavier.
even though he moves quick, yeah, bro, like your agility gets hampered by all that muscle.
Yeah. He's different though. He's
Yeah,
like gifted.
yeah. He's a freak of nature, bro.
Yeah, he's not normal. He's completely different. But typically, if your diet, I would go up to a maximum of 72. But it
He's
depends on your age as well.
he wants to be leaner, and he's 68 kilos. That's light, bro. Like
Yeah, it's really like
that's a good weight, bro. Like honestly, yeah.
yeah.
If you want to increase strength and keep a similar weight, then that's a bit different. But I definitely wouldn't advise putting on too much weight, yeah, if you're playing out
No,
wide,
would I?
be able to get up and down that
No, would
weight.
I?
When
Yeah,
I played at 76 kilos, bro, and you know what I mean, and I'm 178. So
yeah,
do you know what I mean? I played at 76 kilograms, and like it's mad because even like at Leeds United, Bielsa, yeah, has this thing where if you're a certain height, you have to be between a certain weight. He's proper like he's a demon with it, bro. And most
yeah.
men are like between 72, 75 kilos, bro. Like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
The thing
like,
is about it is because you got there's two things. Like if you're like I couldn't be I haven't weighed 68 kilos since I was 12 years old. So
yeah,
like basically I can't weigh that weight. And that's not I'm not saying that as a good thing. I'm just saying so the point is if you can be 68 kilos, it means if you get too heavy, it's not weight that your body should have. You're gonna be carrying that weight. So actually you're gonna feel like it's like playing football with a backpack on. It'll be
yeah,
that type of thing, especially if you put on unnecessary muscle. So I would say you kind of get on a strength program, get
yeah,
stronger, and whatever muscle comes with that, you take that. And we call that functional hypertrophy. So it's like muscle gain for a purpose versus just gaining muscle to look bigger in the mirror, which is a different sport. Like bodybuilding is a different sport. Bodybuilding is be as big as possible with function taking like function is second in the list of priorities. If you're a sportsman, your priority is be generate as much muscle as possible for the sport, but not at the detriment or the sacrifice of my sporting capability. So if it makes you slower, less agile, uh, unable to move around the same way, then realistically, any size you gain that has those effects is detrimental to you. So it's not good.
absolutely. You know what I mean? So,
Mm,
obviously, you're a wide player. You just have to, when you're thinking about improving yourself, you have to think about, yeah, the function of the position that you play in, what you need in it. Do you know what I'm saying? You need agility. You need a good engine because you have to get up and down, bro. So adding weight in that position, it has to be the right way,
mm.
or else you're just hampering yourself. You don't play centrally in the pitch, so you don't need to be backing into players and holding them up. So you don't need that upper body strength, that kind of strength that other players might need, bro. Do you know what I mean? If you was a target
Yeah.
man or something like that, and you have to hold man off, then cool. As a winger, how often do you find yourself actually body to body contact with a player? Hardly ever. Unless
You wanna avoid it where possible, right?
that's it. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you look at guys like Mahrez and these men are skinny, bro. Like they don't need that.
yeah,
Like you don't
yeah.
need that extra weight, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think
So
a lot of them are a bit too small. Having said that, I
yeah,
think they could like guys like that could probably do with a kilo or two more, but their technique's so good they get away with it. The thing is, it's interesting because I have this conversation a lot in football. I'm like, why I rate football over every other sport? Obviously, I'm biased to football, but I just feel like that's the one sport where skill kind of overrides everything. But
yeah,
then I think if we use Ronaldo, because I wouldn't consider Messi, because Messi is a freak of nature. But
uh,
if we use Ronaldo and Zlatan as perfect examples, those guys show you where the combination of the talent and physical capability really make an elite
yeah,
player. And Zlatan's longevity and recovery from the knee injury are proof of that
yeah,
at that stage of his career.
100%, bro.
So yeah,
And even when you look at footballers, bro, how many times do you see these footballers dislocating their shoulders and that just from falling over?
yeah, yeah.
because man don't
Yeah,
train, bro. Like, bro,
yeah,
my shoulder joint is so rigid, yeah. Bro, there's no way I'm dislocating a shoulder from falling over, bro. Like, in bed, 3-4 weeks, like, you know what I'm saying? You know when you see man get a
yeah,
dislocation, it pops out and that, bro, man's got no upper body muscle mass, bro. That's what it is. You just see these bears, yeah, they land awkwardly and all of a sudden their shoulders out. What kind of madness is that?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's because of the conditioning, bro. Do you know what I mean? So when you see
Tell,
certain, these man could definitely, a lot of these man could definitely benefit from like just more overall training, bro. But when it comes to
yeah,
like training in football and that, these man, especially here, like at a lot of the clubs, that their football is about 10 years behind like basketball and all these other sports when it comes to conditioning, bro.
yeah,
So,
100%.
so far
I
behind.
think young Guna should DM us with those
Who's that?
questions, and we can kind of be a bit more specific. He's saying he wants to. I think because we need to go into it. Like question like that's quite hard to answer, especially because he's only 12. So I think he could DM you or me, and we could kind of give him some more information.
Yeah, okay,
I
but
think at that weight, there's
when
too
you're
much
that
going on
young
at that
though,
age.
when you're really young though, bro, to be honest, yeah, like you have to let your body do what it does, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
When I was 12, 13, I carried loads of extra body fat and that, and
I
then
was fat, bro. I was fat,
exactly. And then I got to
and I was playing
16.
sport.
Yep, I was, but there you go. Like the reason why, yeah, I'm so technical at football, yeah, is because I weren't fit when I was younger, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't fit, bro. But when you gave me the ball, you couldn't get it from me. Myth, bro. You know what there was. Not only was I heavier than you, yeah, but man's feet were fast, blood. So not only man twisting you, but if you get back on me, I'll just lean on you and just bounce you off. You weren't getting the ball, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. I only got athletic about last year, secondary school, like probably just before, yeah, I'd say about 15, 16 is when like I lost all the baby weight and I just became lean and I became strong and I started to grow muscle and just I literally went from being overweight to just being muscular like overnight, bro. Like it happens. Like you just got to look at
Yeah,
Marcus Rashford from when he started for United till now, yeah. His body's naturally just developed into a man, bro. Like
yeah.
that's what happens. You can just see man maturing, innit? His physique just matures, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the same with Welbeck, blood. When he came through, he was quite lean and that. Then all of a sudden, man just looked wham, bro. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Them guys just got thick.
Like, bro,
It's interesting. I think someone's saying, uh, how do you get a leaner build rather than a huge build? I think I think the
as
description of
well, bro.
there's genetics and also it's training style, right? So bodybuilding generally will make you have a more huge build as you're describing it because you work on individual components of your body. Whereas like when you have a more compound based program, I saw another person ask about the strong lifts program. Strong lifts is more compound based, right? And when you have a more
Yeah.
compound based program, you get a general growth like across the whole body rather than isolating certain parts. I think when people talk about huge builds and stuff, usually they're associated with certain muscle groups. So like someone comes in and they've got big shoulders and big arms. Naturally, you think they look huge. Like, do you see what I mean? So, and that usually comes from bodybuilding. And obviously, there's genetic people who their arms just grow when they train. I'm not one of those people. So if you see me, I'm quite broad shouldered, but my arms are not that big. They're just naturally not that big. I've got small wrists, like small ankles, small wrists. It's just one of those things. But then I'm broad shouldered and I've got big legs, and big upper legs, I should say. The calves are a joke. You're one of the only black men I know that's got calves.
Yeah.
Literally one of the only black men I know that's got calves. But
If
so I just think
man,
it's difficult. With this, I think with this topic, what's good, we need to look at because you said you fast. So I
yeah,
think we need to cover diets, and we don't need to go super scientific or in depth, but I think we need to cover the different diets that have been popularized recently and why and how there's benefits to them and why we don't necessarily believe or we do believe in them. So why don't we look at, first of all, let's look at fasting. Because
yeah,
fasting is the popular one at the moment.
yeah.
So you talk to us about your fasting
See, the thing
and
is
tell
with
us how it's
IF,
benefited you.
the thing with IF, yeah, what I
Mm,
like is like if you know the science behind it, bro, it makes so
mm,
much sense. It's good for you
mm.
in a sense that for health reasons, bro. Like if you think about your liver and you think about your digestion and all of that, the more you use it, the more wear and tear and the stress is on your body, innit? Like that's
Yeah.
just common sense. Like your body shouldn't be processing food all the time, bro. Like, do you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? There's different functions that your body has. If you know what blood does, you know blood transports things, whatever. Like if you've got injuries, if you've got all these other things, you need blood to transport the blood cells and to do what it needs to do. If you've got bare blood in your stomach, and if you know the percentage of the blood that actually goes into your stomach to digest food, nothing will ever get done if your body's always digesting food. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need to give your organs a break as well from digestion, bro. Like your liver and all these things can't just be working all the time, bro. So a
Yeah.
lot of the time, people's bodies don't have any time to do anything else because you're just processing food all the time. If you're just
Mm.
eating. Also, when you look at like insulin levels and stuff like that, obviously when you're fasting, your body can take care of those things. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's loads of different things that like after they say after your body's fasted for 14 hours, your body's literally gone through all the processes that it needs to go through. Do you know what I'm saying? So anything after that, they say that you're optimum for fat burning. So from like a health point of view, that the fasting works, and also like when you're fasted, the hormones that your body releases as well. Do you know what I mean? Just like your adrenalines and all these other things. Like I feel like I train better fasted, bro,
Yeah.
because the hormones that your body secretes when you're fasted, instead of relying on the food, you're relying on different hormones and this different things that your body doesn't really tap into. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like the release in your body is just different chemically as well when you're fasted. You feel more alert as well because a lot of the time eating, like when you after you eat, you don't really want to do nothing. Like you don't, especially if you have like a
Mm.
fulfilling meal. Psychologically, I feel like I do my best training, I do my best thinking, everything like that when I haven't eaten. If I have a big meal right
Yeah.
now, bro, I can't concentrate on anything other than I just want to jam now.
Did
You
it
know,
take you? Did that happen for you straight away, or did it take you a while to transition into it?
I think the hardest thing about fasting is the psychology because a lot of people think, rah, I'm gonna lose strength if I don't eat. I know certain men that will be eating a banana in the changing room because they think that that's gonna help them with the workout they're about to do. You know what I mean? Like people, or they're banging a bag of Skittles and they're like, yeah, like these Skittles are gonna get me through the workout, bruv. And I'm like,
They
bro,
might get a little spike though for 5 minutes of Skittles.
but that's it. But you've got 48 hours worth of food. You've got, yeah, muscle bellies full of glycogen, yeah, and glycogen
Mm.
in your liver as well, yeah. And you're like, but bruv, you think that them Skittles are gonna get you through the thing?
Mm.
That is ignorance, bro. Do you know what I mean? Or man
Yeah.
says I have to eat 2 hours before. Do you know how long it takes to digest food, bro? It's not 2 hours.
Mm.
You
So
know
it's
that?
interesting. With the fasting, it's interesting because me personally, I'm a eater. Like I
Yeah.
just eat, bro. Like, and when I say that, like fasting just it doesn't make me happy.
Mm.
So I have to be very distracted to fast. Like, so if I can only really fast, so I don't do IF personally, but I rate IF, and I found that it's helped a lot of people who have struggled to control their weight
Mm.
using fasting, to intermittent fasting. We mean by IF. A lot of people who have used the IF method have found it easy. But what I think, I mean, look, all those health benefits, there's many, and I couldn't go into all of them, and I don't know all of them. But there's many health benefits that I've read about, and even from a basic, like a real basic way of analyzing it, like historically, if you think we'd have a meal, then we'd have to find the meal again. So, like, even if you think like we could get meat, then we'd have to go around on vegetables before we got another big meal. So that to me makes a lot of sense from a practical perspective. But what I found more than anything with the fasting, it just helps people to control their overall calorie intake.
Yep. It
And
does.
so it's like just a small window of time to eat means that even if it was someone like myself, like I can control my calories and I have a big energy expenditure. So I've got more room for error than your normal person because like my job's active. I do 15,000, an average of 15 to 20,000 steps a day.
Yep.
So for me, obviously, I'm burning a lot of energy. I'm way more than your normal person. But even me, if I wasn't burning that much energy, fasting would really help me to
Yep.
to control my calories because I've only got a small window of time in which I can eat, and I don't eat huge meals at one time. I used to when I was younger, but now I just don't have the capability. It makes me feel tired.
Yeah.
So even like on the weekend, I had a meal that had rice, bro, and I only ate half the rice. Whereas like even 3 years ago, bro, I would have had that rice and then some, and then I would have had mac and cheese with it. And
Yeah.
it's like now I just can't tolerate that much food.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing with fasting, like I said, if I can only eat 3 of those meals within my 8 hour window, my overall calories are going to be lower. So if I want to lose some weight and some body fat, as long as I make sure those meals are full of all the basic nutrients, like my proteins, my carbs, and my healthy fats, then I'm gonna manage my calorie intake. Do you drink water in the morning?
Nothing but water, bro. Like literally,
Yeah.
during my fast, I might have a shot of I might have an espresso shot if I'm gonna train. Other than that,
Yeah.
like it's just water, bro. And the thing is, I'm hydrated. Like by the time I break my fast, I've probably drank 4 liters of water. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And that's another body.
Yeah.
Your body can't differentiate between like thirst and hunger. It can't. Like it's the same feeling. A lot of the time, people aren't satisfied because they're dehydrated, bro, and they think they're hungry, but they're not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And because of that, make sure you cover that base first, innit? Because the importance of water in your body is understated, bro. Like what 1% dehydration does to the body is a joke. Just 1%, bro. You see what I'm saying? So most people, average day, probably don't have clear urine at any point of the day, bro. Like the average person probably doesn't drink a liter of water a day.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, like 1.5 is like the recommendation, but realistically, for women, it's more like 2 liters. For guys, it should be more like 3 liters a day.
There you go.
And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of missing that. I can forget to drink water. My wife's always telling me, bro, not bro, but she was telling me, drink your water.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible, bro. I'm terrible. She give me a bottle before I go out because I just won't drink it. I just get by it.
But this is it. With me, I always have a bottle in each room. So I have a bottle of water in my studio, 1.5 liter, and I have a bottle by my bed. Most of the time, I've got 2 bottles of water by my bed because I always wake up in the night and drink water and go back to sleep. Always.
Yeah.
As a habit. Do you know what I'm saying? So cover the base with the water first. Always do that.
Yeah.
And then you realize that actually you're not really hungry, bro. Because when you wake up in the morning, the only time I wake up in the morning hungry is if I've really underate the next day because my body knows. I mean, the day before. If I'm under calories for the day before, I wake up like I want to literally eat my arm, bro. And that's if I know I haven't eaten enough the day before. But other than that, I wake up, I drink my water, I'm fine, bro. Do you know what I mean? So when you cover those bases initially when you're fasting, it's more than enough, man. And then also you're getting your hydration from your fruit and vegetables. So
I agree with David Gardner as well. What he said is true. Good.
That's it. It shouldn't be constantly digesting, bro. There's no organ that should be constantly worked, bro. It's just like if you overwork the clutch on your car, bro. Like, what's going to happen? You're going to mash it up. You know, the brakes, blood. You're always braking all the time, fam. When you need them brakes, they're going to be done out, fam. You know them?
No, you're right.
And that's just what it is. And the thing is, if you think that if you're not naturally inherently healthy as well, and you're putting a lot of stress on your digestive system, on your kidneys, on your liver, on everything, it's the same with overconsumption of alcohol and stuff like that, what people do to the liver. If you've got a super high protein intake and a super high alcohol intake, bro, you're setting up your body for a madness.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much your body can be processing all these things before it just gives up, bro. Like you have to.
It's interesting. It's interesting because I just had you're a vegetarian, and like I said, I'm just feeling a bit funny with meat. So I thought, let me just give myself a couple of days off it just to see how it feels. But I'm 5 days, Monday to Friday. And if I'm honest with you, being vegetarian, there's 2 things that I noticed from it. And you tell me if I'm right or if you've experienced this because you've been vegetarian longer. The first thing was I noticed a lot of the natural flavors in the veg meant that it kept my sugar cravings down. I crave sugar a lot less. And that was from the natural. I wasn't even eating that much fruit, but just from the natural flavors like in the veg.
Peppers and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the peppers, all of that. That was controlling my sugar level. I was not craving sweets and chocolates, and I've got a sweet tooth. And the second thing was, I just felt fuller, bro.
Yep.
Weirdly,
Fiber, bro.
I felt fuller. I felt fuller. And so, look, to be honest, after 5 days, I got a bit bored. The
Yeah.
meals were nice, but I was like, look, I fancy having a piece of fish with this now. I haven't
Yeah.
had meat, but I put fish with it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to like maybe eat meat on a, like rarely, just on a like more of a, treat meat like a delicacy now, having it on a, you know, once a month, twice a month. But more, I'm going to keep the fish, and some days I'll just have veg all day.
Yeah.
But it was interesting for me because that really did manage my sugar levels. It was insightful. I wanted to do it just as a personal study, especially as
Yeah.
someone who's eaten meat my whole life. And what I know, and so one of the things that for me, if we move on to like a vegan diet, because you know, like veganism is really popular now. And look, I'm not for or against being a vegan. I'm just like, yeah, if it works for you, good on you. If it's for
Yeah.
ethical reasons, more power to you. I have no beef with that. But when people start promoting this stuff and start saying like, oh, this is the only way to be healthy, I have
Yeah.
a problem with that. But what I will say, and one of the reasons I think a lot of people experience success on vegan or vegetarian diets is that they become more health conscious.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who become vegan become more nutritionally conscious and aware. So obviously to be a vegan, it takes a lot of research to understand what you're eating.
Yeah.
So most people who get into it, they become more conscious of what they eat. Whereas when you eat a normal diet, so that's every food, all foods basically, you
Yeah.
kind of just go about the day. So you grab your sandwich, you grab this, you grab that. When you're vegan, you kind of have to start reading labels. You
Yeah.
start to realize, oh wow. And like even like using sort of like calorie control apps like MyFitnessPal, you get people to start looking at those things and they start realizing where the sugars are and where the carbs are and how much fat's in that and how much calories are in that. And all of a sudden you're a bit like, wow.
Of course.
And
And then you
so
start seeing all the extra stuff, like all these
yeah,
random chemicals that are in your food, yeah, that you didn't even know were there.
if you don't know the name of them, bro, usually they're not that safe.
But this is it, bro. You know,
There's a
like
lot of them.
in America, like they
Yeah.
were saying, oh, with the Twinkies and that. They were like, oh, there's no dairy in it. And man was like, so hold on, that thing in the middle wasn't cream blood. So what the hell was that? Just pure
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blood. You know, like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's
100%.
by the time you're just eating rubbish, bro, with no nutritional value, yeah, none whatsoever. And that's the thing, yeah. When you stop eating certain things, what it does make you do is it makes you more conscious of what you're putting in your body. And it's all about accountability, bro, which is why fasting works so well. Because a lot of the time
Yeah.
people don't understand a portion size, bro. So
Yeah,
instead,
yeah,
man will take that out of your hands and say, how much can you eat in 8 hours? I promise you it's not that much.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Because like you said, people underestimate the calories they take in.
yeah,
And this is another thing. And people also underestimate how sedentary they are. So
yeah,
like one of my basic challenges to like 98% of my clients, so basically all of them, is to try and get a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. And so what I tell my clients is like I try and get them to use like Fitbits or Apple Watches or even their iPhone just to get a basic understanding of it. And what you find is like people average like 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day. If you average 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day, which I'm not even saying in a negative, it's not even to be a cuss, but it's more like if that's all you're burning in a day and you haven't worked out as well, bro, you're not really burning that much energy.
yep,
So if you're not burning that much energy, then if you're constantly putting energy into your system, you're gonna put on body fat and body weight. And
comfortably.
this is one of the things I think people need to realize, like fat loss, weight gain. We can get really technical with fat loss and muscle gain, but the basis of weight loss and weight gain is calories in versus calories out,
Yeah,
energy in, energy out. So like
yeah,
you just said to me before we went live, you're like, bro, I've just done 30K on the bike. Okay, good. Well done to you, Rance. You've just burned 1,000 calories on top of your base metabolic rate.
yeah,
So maybe today you've got room for 3,000 calories.
yeah.
And then you're vegetarian, which means, and you don't really eat cheat meals. So
So
let's just say you
never hit
probably take in a
it.
maximum of 2,000. If
Yeah,
that, you're probably going to take in 1,500 today. So you
yeah,
basically burn double the amount you've taken in. It's a
yeah,
guarantee that you're going to be losing weight more. So that's why
yeah,
you're like, I can't keep the weight on. It just makes
yeah.
sense.
Can't keep weight on, bro. Like, because it's one of them ones where, like, unless I'm eating badly consciously, bro, it's not possible. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? If I'm
it's
eating,
quite hard.
yeah, if I'm eating whole foods, yeah, because of the fiber intake, because of the water intake, like, and the sheer lack of calories, bro. Like, it's
Yeah.
impossible. Like, I'll slap a massive meal, yeah, like a big meal of like a vegetable curry and rice, and I'll fry it down, and I'll be like, cool, this is 650 calories, and I'll eat this, and I'll be slow, and I'll stuff myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got everything in there: mushrooms, peppers, courgettes, like spinach, any bit of veg I can throw in there. But there's no calories in that. It's just water, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like easily, bro. Like you can easily eat a lot of food and still lose weight. There's a misconception that people need to starve themselves to lose weight, bro. It's a myth. Just make better food choices, and that's what a lot of people do. They skip meals or they have shakes and meal replacements. Don't replace the meal, yeah, but replace the crap food with good food, bro.
Yeah. There's something David Gardner said, which I like.
If you click on it, I think you should be able to put it on the screen.
Let me click.
I'm
trying. I don't think I can.
Was it the David Gardner? This one?
Yeah. So I like what he's saying here. He says people ain't the same. Certain things will work better. So sugar is the worst thing, regardless of who you are. But like you just said, people are different. So we're both talking, right? We're both trainers. We both have a good understanding of nutrition. You've said you like fasting. I've said I don't. And none of us here have a weight issue. So like David said, I think the main success with a lot of these diets is kind of like what suits the individual. The principles of nutrition don't change though. You need a healthy balance of your carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And one of the things that they do, people always preach messages in extremes. So on one side of the fence, you've got carbohydrates are bad. On the other side of the fence, you've got proteins, too much protein's bad. The other side, you've got fats bad. And actually, if they're all consumed in the right amounts and in the right way, they're all good for you. Yes, excess carbohydrates without the energy expenditure is bad for you. Excess protein, really your body doesn't use it properly and it's hard to digest. So yeah, it's bad for you. Excess fat is high in calories and it's bad for you, depending on your view of cholesterol. So it's everything just needs to be balanced, really. Everything just needs to be balanced. And also you need to find what works for your personality type. That's a big one. Like I find, so for example, I've got some people like who are trained and they're just very, what's the word? They're very disciplined. They like order. People like that need to follow strict rules. I have other people that need a bit of room. They need a bit of room to kind of have a wiggle room. So you basically give them the rules. You're like, listen, we worked out your body fat. So your base metabolic rate is this, your activity levels is this. So you burn X amount per day. Let's just say for argument's sake, that's 2,000 calories. So now we want you to consume, let's say 1,200 calories a day to achieve your weight loss goal. So obviously we want that to be made up of the right amount of proteins, carbs, and fats. But ultimately we want you to hit that. So if you can, let's say, have your meals and you're like, look, I've got 200 calories spare, then maybe you can have a bite of that cake because for you, that works. The reality is if you obey those rules, you will lose weight and you will lose fat. Maybe you won't lose fat as quick as someone who is not cheating at all, but you will lose fat because you're obeying the rules. And I think you have to learn how to like apply these things to each personality type. That's one of the big ones.
Exactly. And that's where understanding your client comes into it. That's why when you get a lot of these trainers doing this online thing and it's like, bro, like unless I understand who I'm working with, like there's no one size fits all. I could give you the right calories and this, that, and the other, and even stuff like nutritional, like the partitioning of nutrition and that. But everyone's body's different, bro. Like I
100%.
tried a high fat diet before. My body hates it, bro. When I go high fat, I feel sick, bro. Like my body, I feel nauseous and I feel heavy. Do you know what I mean? My body doesn't like loads of fats. Like I tried it before, eating like the eggs and the peanut butters and all them things, and just eating bare of it. Like people were cooking, like using coconut milk and all these things, bro.
I can't do. I'm not trying to sit around there eating bacon and all that. I'm not really on it. I'll be honest.
Bacon and eggs and that for breakfast and that, bro. My body hates that. Like it actually despises it. You know
obviously, it was popular because, like always, you get like a couple guys who get good media coverage and develop good physiques with that diet style. And then it gets promoted as like the be all and end all of diets. When really there is no be all and end all. The main thing, really, we should look at areas of the world where people live the longest and people are the healthiest. And those are the things we should almost try to emulate as much as possible. So I think that's the way to approach dieting, and then everything is like I'm gonna go inside so I've got more light. Then
Cool.
everything really is just lifestyle dependent. So I think that what people need to understand is like, what's my lifestyle like, and like, what can I stick to really? So one of the big things I ask people is like, so I sit with people and I'll say, listen, how committed are you, and how important is achieving this goal to you? Because people come and they're like, yeah, I want to really lose weight, or I don't want to lose weight. And then you go, okay, cool, no problem. You say, how important is this goal to you? Now, if you tell me this goal on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 10 out of 10, then I'm going to hold your hand to the fire.
Yeah.
And I'm going to really hold you accountable to this. So I'm going to be very strict to you. If you're like, look, it's a 7 out of 10, or look, I'm not in a rush, I just want to get there eventually, then you've got more wiggle room. So I think we need to also appreciate that.
But this is it, bro. Like, the thing is with me, yeah, like I'm quite a practical thinker, innit? So when I think about food, innit, when I think about food, I think about all the natural food that was put in this earth, yeah, and how they're made up, innit? And if you look at fruit and veg, yeah, they're carbs. That's what they are. They're carbs and water, and then they have vitamins and minerals that our body need in it. So there's no bigger clue there that your body, that carbs has to be like the most abundant flipping like macronutrient, bro, in your body, because in most of the food that man has, that there's them natural sugars are there in it. And not just with the natural sugars, you have your zincs, your irons, your all these other things, yeah, that you need in it. So if the earth is telling you that all these micronutrients can be found in these kinds of foods, then these are the foods that you need to be consuming in it. So when man's like high fat, the only place you can really find fat, yeah, is in flipping nuts and that you don't necessarily have to be eating a lot of anyway, bro. How much nuts does a man eat really, bro? Like, you're not gonna eat a whole bag of nuts. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I have, yeah, you know that. As soon as I said the house, like, bro, I'm gonna be on a fan page, you know, like that. Might have to change that to consuming. Man don't eat nuts, blood, you know, like that. No lie here, bro. Man don't eat blood, and I'm trying to get married, blood, so man ain't be eating nuts, cuz, but you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, honestly, when they show you what a plate's supposed to look like, just when you think about where all the micronutrients comes from, it comes from carbs and water delivering whatever it needs to deliver. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why they're not going to tell you to have a whole bag, because you don't need that in it. So when man are like, yeah, high fat diet, bro, like most of these high fat foods don't have any nutritional value to man, really. Like, I mean, man tell people to eat like peanuts and cashew nuts and that for protein, but bro, there's protein in them, but they're not protein foods, they're fatty foods.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, nuts are fats with protein in it. They're not protein.
Bro, how long do we have?
Yeah, bro, we can keep going, bro. The
reason why I'm just saying, because I want to, what we're saying is good, but I also want to think about exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the diet thing's just a madness. We could just go on and on and on, but I think we need to look at exercise, and let's look at how, what am I saying? The best forms of exercise for fat loss, which there isn't. But like, I think we should start with that, because everyone's going to have their methods. And it'd be good if we get some participation in the comments and see what everyone's saying.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your best methods? If I come to you and I say, let's say I'm 175, that's my weight. And I'm saying to you, listen, I want to lose, I'm just going to say, for argument's sake, I'm 90 kilos. So my height is 175 and my weight is 90 kilos. And I'm like, I want to lose 5 kilos. And I want to just drop body fat, but I do want 5 kilos off as well. How are you going to train me?
If you just want to drop body fat and you don't care about how you look because you just want to lose weight, then just like with boxers and that, when they want to lose weight, them man just do loads of cardio-based stuff because they just want to lose weight, innit?
Yeah.
That's just it. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to lose fat and you still want to you want to look good, you want a good physique, then I would train you differently. Do Do you know what I'm saying? So it just really depends. But like for me personally, like if I have a client that says to me, "Yo, I want to lose weight," I know that they're saying to me they want to look better. So if I say I'm going to train you 3 times a week, we'll do 2 resistance sessions and one hit like circuit kind of cardio based circuit like session. So I'll do an upper body. I'll do an upper body push and pull, and then I'll do a lower body day, and then I'll do like a hit like a boxing day where we do boxing. I'll do battle ropes with them. I'll do tires, everything, and it will just be circuit based, and I'll mash them up. Bro. It's always a hybrid. Always a hybrid thing with me because the thing is, if you're not training to be a bodybuilder, you don't need to lift weights 4 or 5 times a week. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're just training to be fit for life and healthy, you need to make sure you're getting a cardio in, and I don't mean walking on the treadmill, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree. So what you just said is the key, and I think we need to really, really define what you just said. In that, if you're not training to be a bodybuilder, so this is not a dig at bodybuilding. Like, bro, it takes a lot of discipline. I don't have the discipline to be a bodybuilder, but it's a sport.
Yeah,
it's a sport, and I think people need to understand that the goal of a sport is winning. The goal of exercise is health. And so, like, if it's a sport, so for example, we could just make it really easy. If you're playing football, you want to stay healthy, but ultimately you're willing to play injured if it means winning the trophy. Do you see what I mean? But if you're training in the gym, then really the goal is to optimize health. So if you've got a niggle in the gym, we don't train you through that niggle. We may try and train around the niggle, but we don't want to continue to train through it. Whereas if you're playing a sport, so even on that Jordan documentary, you see Jordan's sick and he still has to play because they've got a competition or the final when Pippin's back was bad. No doubt playing with that bad back would have made it worse. But the end of the day is he needs to play because they've got a trophy to win.
Yeah.
But if your goal is health, then you've got to understand that. So the first priority, so I always say, like, my first priority in the gym is to keep my clients safe. That's priority number 1. Priority number 2 is to make sure they have a good time. And then priority number 3 is how I do their exercise program. Because even if I'm the most technically sound coach, if they're bored out of their wits, bro, unless the doctor said they're going to die and if they're not there, they will leave.
Yep, it's not sustainable.
The clients vote with their feet, bro. So you got to make it enjoyable, yeah? So like you just said, if you're not a bodybuilder, bro, you need to train for life, which means you need to do compound movements. And basically what we mean by that is movements that you will do in everyday life.
Yeah.
So in everyday life, you have to do some form of squat. You have to do some form of hip hinge. You have to do some form of pull. You have to do some form of push.
You have to do something. You know what I'm saying? You're deadlifting, whether you're going down to lift up your kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you always do stuff. If you're picking up plates and putting them on the top shelf in the kitchen, bro, like, you're always pushing, you're always pulling. So that's how you train for life, bro. Like, if as well as looking good, you need to train functionally.
Yeah, and the same thing is, that doesn't mean you need to deadlift 95% of your 1 rep max.
Never. For what?
Most people don't need to be that strong. Most people just don't need to be that strong. And most people that are that strong have had some form of disc injury or issue.
The average, my clients, my fat loss clients, bro, I train them between 12 to 15 reps, bro.
Yeah.
Because they don't never need to go heavy, bro. Like, I'm trying to keep your heart at a decent level. It's all about time under tension, bro. It's about constantly moving. Man don't need to be doing 5 reps and then sitting down for 3 minutes with someone that needs to lose weight. What for?
Yeah.
To be moving
as much
as possible in the time that you're with me.
Yeah, that's my thing. I try and keep people standing.
Bro. Like, that's it. If we're not getting weight, get strong. Like, you need to lose weight, bro. If you're trying to lose weight and get strong at the same time, bro, it can't work. It can't work because you need different levels of fuel to do both things. If you want to increase strength, you need a surplus of fuel. If you want to lose weight, you need a deficit of fuel. So
we have to prioritize. Like, your strength gains, like you said, like, basically your strength gains are compromised with less energy in the system. Whereas if you want to optimize, if strength is your, so this is the thing. And again, like you just said, you have to constantly remind people how to create priority lists. So like when someone comes in, it's about adjusting the goals. I want to get strong. I want to lose fat. I want to lose weight. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, let's line this up. What's the priority here? Okay, so my priority is losing weight. Okay, so you're going to already be in a calorie deficit, which means you expect to have a bit less energy. I mean, we could clean up your food and maybe give you more energy, but the reality is you're taking in less energy than you're used to. So that means your training capacity is going to be, you know, it may be compromised a little bit, because obviously now you don't have as much fuel in the system. So if you come to me a month later, you've lost weight, but you're like, my strength hasn't gone up at the rate I expected it to, then you need to understand what the priorities are, or what your priority was. And if you want a strength goal, then we're going to increase your calories again. Then maybe your weight might come up. So I think people just need to understand what it is they want.
But that's it. And that's why the initial consultations are always the most important thing, bro. Because until you know what your client really wants, you can't help them. They might think that they want something that they don't want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So, like, even with the training, like this guy's here said about insulin resistance and that, again, it does depend on genetics. Some people I know do really well with sugar. Some people I know don't do well. And unless you know that person's body, how can you do a diet plan for them?
Yeah. And also, though, like that insulin resistance thing, like we need to have real evidence of that. Like if you've got someone who sits, consumes a lot of carbs and doesn't move a lot, I mean, of course they're going to be insulin resistant, or they're going to appear to be insulin resistant because they're not moving the energy that they're taking in. So we don't even necessarily know that. We couldn't inexplicably say, yeah, they're insulin resistant, because we're just not sure.
Bro, honestly, yeah, there's a lot of things that people start talking about, yeah, and you know me anyway, I'm mad dismissive, innit, bro? I'm like, I'm like, bro, you're fat, innit? Like, let's not get like this insulin resistance. You're fat, innit? You're not resistant, bro. You're exercise resistant. That's why you're fat, bro. Do you see what I mean, bro? Like, that's what I'm on. Like,
bro, I can't say that. That's not sales, bro. That's not sales.
Yeah, bro. Like, listen, yeah. The best way to get your client fit, yeah, is make them take accountability, innit?
Yeah, no, you're right.
So forget all the excuses you're telling yourself.
You're exercise resistant, you're fat.
No, it's true, blood. Forget what you're telling yourself. Like, even with intermittent fasting, yeah, the best way to control insulin levels is not eating. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So if you're really, really overweight and you've got a lot of insulin, you've got a lot of glycogen storage, which you will do, and fat storage if you're overweight, bro, stop eating for a certain period of time, and I swear your life will change, blood.
It's true, because you regulate your insulin levels 100%.
You allow the body to regulate, and it's not food regulation. A lot of people use food to regulate their moods. Oh, I'm feeling tired. They use food to regulate their energy. Oh, I'm in a bad mood. I'm going to eat because this sugar is going to make me feel better. A lot of people regulate how they feel physically with food. That's not your relationship you're meant to have with food, blood. Food is energy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's energy source, and it's your vitamins and your minerals, and it's for health, and it's your medicine. That's what food is. People use food to make them feel good, to feel better, to feel energetic, bruv. There's too much emotional attachment to food, bruv.
Yeah, which sometimes has to be addressed. I think sometimes, like what you just said, I mean, sometimes the issue is bigger than just like basic advice from like a nutritional consultation with a trainer or a nutritionist. Sometimes it's psychological, or often it's psychological. Yeah. Very often it's psychological, actually. And I've actually found that. So my thing now is like, my latest stance is like fat loss is mental, right? So and weight loss. So I always say like, one of the most dynamic things in the human experience is their body weight. Like body weight is changing constantly, and people are fluctuating in weight, and for various reasons, right? Like you see Adele, her recent weight loss thing. I mean, that's like revenge body of the century.
Yeah,
and the reality is, yeah, bro, it's motivation. I mean, I had a girl who I trained, and it was the opposite, right? So she said to me, yeah, you know, I was always this weight, and I put on 20 kilos. I think she said in the last year, and I went, who was he?
Yeah.
And she was like, huh? How do you know? I said, I can just tell.
Yeah.
What would have changed like that? What would have changed? It's like something's obviously spun you in. And she was like, she felt like a prophet, bro. But it wasn't that. It was obvious. You could just tell by the background of the conversation and the way she said the weight just came on. She obviously got depressed. And I'm not like downplaying it. She obviously got depressed and then ended up just sitting and comfort eating, bro. So
Fam,
very often it's an emotional thing.
bro, I tell these people, you know how committed you have to be to put on 20 kg, fam. You know, like, you have to commit to this eating thing, you know, because there's bare man that are skinny trying to put on weight, and they're like, bro, I eat bare food and I can't put on weight, and I'm like, bro, you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
eat a lot. I've spent a day with you. You don't eat a
yeah.
lot. You know the ones, but they feel like they do because their stomachs aren't big in it. So in their head, they're eating a lot. But when you look at the calories, these men are eating 1,500 calories a day trying to put on muscle. You know what I'm saying? So when this girl, if she's put on 20 kg, she was religiously eating. She committed to eating, fam. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
just like Adele committed to the training and the diet, bro. Like it has to become a commitment, bro. It's psychological, bro. Like having the body that you want is 99% up here, bro.
Yeah.
It's all it's,
Yeah,
all
like it's a decision. It's a decision in the mind for sure. Like
all it
it's
is.
a decision. You have to make a decision. So like for example, like I keep saying, I've got a sweet tooth. So it's like, okay, so how do you manage it? Well, basically I just have to tell myself I can't. Sometimes I can have an alternative, but it just doesn't hit that spot. So certain times where it's just like, you know what, it hasn't. I just have to say no.
Yeah.
Another thing actually, and one thing to really tap into is fatigue.
Yeah.
Because sleep will really regulate how much sugar and energy you need to take in. So a few practical things people can look at is trying to get a consistent bedtime.
Yeah.
Because if you sleep at different times, your body then, your circadian rhythm, which is your body's natural body clock, is kind of messed up. And what happens is that your body becomes confused when you keep sending it different messages. You see, before electricity, obviously, sun would go down, you'd have to go to bed. Obviously, you had candles, but you'd essentially have to go to sleep. But when the sun came up, you had to wake up. Whereas now we've got lights, so we can basically override that process. And what most people can tell you is they'll feel a natural drop off around the same time. And they usually wake up around the same time. But what happens is if you let that drop off kind of subside, you'll then wake up again. You feel yourself spike up again, especially at night time. And it's usually in that second spike that you start to get hungry again. And really the issue there is that you should have just been sleeping. So you've kind of restarted your day and now your body becomes confused. That's a big one.
Bro, and that's what I'm saying, yeah. And again, another reason why fasting is brilliant because you understand your body, yeah. You'll never wake up more hungry, yeah, than when you haven't slept. When you're doing IF, yeah, like all the hunger hormones and all of that, bro, like when I tell you, if you don't have enough sleep, you wake up and you're ravenous. You're so hungry.
Yeah, you can't fast tired, 100%.
Yeah,
it's hard to fast tired.
bro, because that's your body telling you that actually, bro, you have not recovered. You haven't slept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wake up hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's another thing, bro. Like when I wake up and I'm hungry, I know straight away I haven't had enough sleep.
Yeah.
Because it's uncontrollable hunger, bro. It's not a normal hunger. Your stomach hurts, bro. Like your head's gone. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's literally, and because I'm conscious of how much I eat in a day naturally anyway, I know I haven't under-eaten, bro. I've underslept. And there's another confusion in your body when it comes to thirst, hunger, and fatigue, bro. Like your body just always feels like I need to eat, but a lot of the time you don't actually need to eat. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, that comes from when understanding your body, you can kind of differentiate. So when I get those pains, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep drinking water and it'll go away, and it does. But at the beginning, like when I used to have them clients at 6 a.m. and I used to have to get up at 5:15 and that, and I've gone to bed at maybe 1 and I've had 4 hours sleep, I'm waking up
bro.
starving, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, those are the killer days. Like honestly, I've done that. I remember one of my colleagues was like, bro, what are you doing? Because I would be going, I'm like 26 years old. He's like 34. He's like talking to me. He's like, bro, what are you playing at? He's like, how are you gonna hold on to muscle? How are you gonna manage your diet? Because bro, I'm going to bed at 1. I'm waking up, like you said, at 5 o'clock to start my first client at 6:30. But I'm dead. I'm dead. And so sleeping is a massive one. And that's something, even like I said, I'll hold my hands up. Like I'm guilty of not always listening to this rule. And like you said, the days when I haven't slept well are the days I'm hungriest, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But that's another thing.
For sure.
Like, bro, there's so many different components, of health. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And sleeping is a component of health, bro. You have to rest. If you can't
It's an underutilized thing, isn't it? Like
if you don't rest, you can't recover
Yeah.
from
People don't preach it. They don't preach it. Like it's one of your most your anabolic windows, sorry, is sleeping. Anabolic meaning when you promote muscle gain.
Yeah.
So people don't realize, like a lot of elite athletes, for example, train and sleep.
Oh, yeah.
The beauty of being a professional footballer is most of them are finished by the afternoon, so they get extra rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a huge
And
one.
that is where all, that's what they say. That's where all the improvements, all the gains are made, bro, in your sleep, not in the gym. You know what I'm saying? You condition your body, you put the nutrients in, and then you sleep and you let the magic happen, bro. That's what happens. So when you don't get a lot of sleep, that's why your DOMs might be worse as well. Because when you don't get sleep, you wake up and your body's sore as hell, bro. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many, if you actually are in tune with your body and you listen to your body, there's so many different indicators that you're not doing something right. Like the color of your urine will tell you about your hydration. Do you know what I'm saying? Like how you feel in the morning will tell you about how you slept. Like there's so many different things that people just ignore, that like if you actually start to actually listen to these things, bro, naturally you'll see your lifestyle will change. Like it has to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like this
So I
guy
think,
saying on water fasting for fat loss, it's not a good idea, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, the thing is, obviously, for fat loss, I mean, weight loss, yeah, because you're simply not putting energy in. If you're only on water, then obviously you're going to lose weight because you're going to be in a huge calorie deficit. Water's got no calories. But the issue is, as soon as you start to put calories back in, you're going to put the weight back on. And actually, if you teach your body to not deal with calories, your body will slow down. So your metabolism will actually slow down. It will become less resilient towards calories. So
And
for
also,
argument's sake, I don't know what the numbers actually are, but let's just say for argument's sake, your body burns 2,000 calories a day and you go to putting in 0. That means now your body might say, okay, we can learn how to only burn 1,000 calories a day or 0 calories a day. So as soon as you put 2,000 back in, that now makes you burn that makes you put on weight versus before when your body could deal with it.
absolutely. And people also forget, the people with the most muscle mass, when man talk about metabolisms, muscle tissue is metabolic, bro. So when you're losing muscle by losing all of that weight, you're killing your metabolism. You're killing your metabolism. So a lot of people don't realize. That's why if you're trying to lose body fat, you want to try and keep as much muscle as possible, because that operates, that dictates how much fat that you burn when you're resting, how much muscle you have.
Yeah, it really impacts it. You're right.
You see what I'm saying? So again, muscle is something that people don't think about enough. When people are like, I want to lose weight, I'm like, cool. But you want to try and keep hold of as much muscle tissue as possible. You are going to lose muscle when you lose weight. It can't be helped.
Yeah.
And that's why when I'm training for a holiday or whatever to look good, I know that my lifts are going to go down because I'm in a deficit, but I don't care. If I need to take an extra rest in between my exercises, I don't care, because I'm training.
Even bodybuilders, when they shred, they know that their strength's going to go down a bit because now they're taking in less energy.
Yeah, and that's all it is.
That's the thing. One of the interesting things is, and again, like this doesn't necessarily translate to everyday life, but when I'm just eating what I want, and obviously not like going crazy with cheat meals, but taking in as much carbs as I want and just eating a lot, my training feels good. Like I feel strong.
Yeah.
But like you said, it doesn't necessarily carry over to when I want to run and when I want to do those things. Do you think a bigger person who has high fat in arms does a fair amount of cardio whilst doing biceps, etc., would not build any muscle while losing fat? That question's quite. But do you? Oh, they haven't.
You know what it is with this question, and that's what a lot of people need to understand. You see in the fitness industry, and not enough respect is paid to genetics, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like when you look at someone, or if you know yourself, I know me personally, no matter what I do, my chest and my shoulders always look ridiculous, bro. But I know the first place I put body fat on is around my stomach, bro. My abs start to fade first before everything else. Genetically, people store fat in different places, isn't it? So
that's a fact.
That's a fact, bro. And I know this because not only have I had clients, but I've had clients who I've trained the mum and the daughter, and they store fat in the same place, bro. So
let's debunk something though quickly on that genetic thing, because that's not an excuse to say people can't lose fat.
You can,
like as a whole. everyone can lose weight and lose fat. We just got to find the way it works. But your fat patterns are different.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So if we use Ronnie Coleman as an example, one of the reasons he was so successful, because he was one of the only guys that could be that tall, that big, and actually gain muscle mass, whereas a lot of the big guys, they're short.
Yeah.
And it's like, then I remember I saw this girl post something up. I mean, she was too hench for a female, in my opinion. Yeah. But she put up quite an interesting post, and she basically was just saying like, she said something about genetics, but then she spoke about the fact that genetically she had really big abs. And so some people just have big abs. Like, I've got quite big abs. So my abs, they pop more. They pop more than your normal person. It's just the way my abs are built. I've been like that since I was a young teenager.
Yeah.
But like some people on the flip side have a flatter stomach than me.
Yeah.
They're flatter stomach, but they don't have as much abs as me. So it's kind of like,
it's the same. Yeah, my body fat doesn't have to be that low for you to see my abs and my obliques. Like I can be I can be at 13-14% body fat and still have obliques and abs. Like whereas certain men need to get into the single digits to see abs because their abs are flat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different shape muscle. Do you know what I mean? Like some people have round muscle bellies and some people have longer muscle bellies. So biceps and that. Like my muscle bellies are longer. Do you know what I mean?
I've got short muscle bellies. I hate it. I don't like the look.
Yeah, but it looks bigger. Like the actual peak of the bicep looks bigger. Do you know what I mean? But if you put around my arm and someone's arm with fat and muscle bellies, bro, their arms look bigger than mine, but actually your arms are the same size. I've got big triceps and smaller biceps, but it just depends genetically how your body's composed. Everyone's is different. So when you're saying like fat arms and that, bro, genetically, that's just where you store your fat, innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like you, innit? It's like you get, when you got big, you always get big traps and big shoulders.
Traps,
your traps always get big,
bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my shoulders now, like, bro, even when I'm not lean, my shoulders and around my clavicle and everything's lean, cut around the shoulders. I could have a fat belly and my shoulders will look like man's 10% body fat. You know what I mean? That's what it is. My shoulders and chest always look cut up, no matter what. Do you know what I'm saying? So it just really depends on your genetics. So when guys saying he's got high fat in his arms, that's your genetics. Like there's certain women that can have the flattest stomach, but their hips and their thighs are fat, bro. Like it's where you.
It's hard. Yeah, it's difficult.
And there's some women that have really, really skinny legs, skinny, flat stomach, and then they carry all their weight in their breasts, bro. Like everyone's body fat stores in different places. So if you're a guy
big time
arms and you feel like you can't lose weight on your arms, that probably means that's where you're going to lose weight last. You can get it off, but that's your stomach area. Everyone area that takes longer.
Lose it last. Also, I do agree with the fact that you can't spot burn fat, but I disagree with the fact that you can't spot target. So what I mean by that is if they lose overall weight or fat, they can spot areas. Otherwise, all isolation exercises would hold no value. So if we spot target anything, then we could basically eradicate bicep curls, tricep extensions, leg extensions, and leg curls. But the reality is all of these exercises hold value and they hold a place for someone who wants to target those areas specifically. Like, so as much as me, I'm never going to have super calves. If I did target my calves 4 or 5 times a week, they would eventually grow. It's just that I've never been disciplined enough to do it for a sustained amount of time.
Because they're stubborn, but they would grow. But the amount of effort that you have to put in them to make them grow, like you know that, bro, genetically, I'm not meant to have big calves, bro. Like I can do something to change it, but the amount of effort I have to put into that, it ain't worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's me. That's exactly what it is for me.
That's all it is, bro. Like there's no such thing as I can't have this, bro. You can have it. It's just that you might have to work harder than the next guy because genetically you're not there, innit? So
it's like even my mum and all my brothers in my mum's house. My mum is 6 foot. My youngest brother is 6'6". My brother below him, who's also younger than me, is 5'11", and my older brother is 6'2". They're all skinny and they're all tall. I'm like 5'9.5". I always got to add my half in, and I'm stocky. But I'm the only one in the house that's ever been fat. I'm the only one in the house I've always eaten more food than all of them. And I'm the only one that's just got more muscle bulk. It's just a genetic thing. but we all grew up with the same diet and the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, I played more sport than them all, weirdly, but I'm the only one who was ever chubby. So it's interesting how much genetics play a part. Like, interesting, because my brother's literally, my younger brother who's 24 he weighs 63 kilos, bro.
Yeah.
And he is 5'11", 63 kilos.
Yeah, that's it.
He's got 8-pack, bro. Like he's never been. He don't know what body fat is.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's just interesting how genetics affect. Obviously, he doesn't eat enough, but the point is, it's like there was still a huge genetic component to that. Like I weighed 63 kilos when I was 11 years old, with no exaggeration.
Yeah, bro, that don't surprise me. Like me, I would struggle now to get below 75 kilos. I'd struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, my brother's 6'2", and then my other younger brother's like 6'4". They're both tall and skinny, bro. And all of them are lighter than me, bro.
Yeah. Is your little brother 6'4" now?
Yeah, bro.
The youngest one, 21.
He's 21, yeah. He's massive, bro. Man's feet are like size 13, bro. That's what I'm saying. And I'm size 9, bro, and 5'10", bro. And these men are size 11 and size 13, bro. And we got the same mum and dad. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mad.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, genetics are mad, bro. Like, you can't overlook them, because we come out the exact same womb, the same parents, and them two are built similarly, and I'm built nothing like them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, a lot of the time, people, again, you have to eat for your genetics, you have to train for your genetics, because at the end of the day, just because, as he said, I thought if you store fat in a certain place and that, if you want to look a certain way, bro, you're going to have to work a hell of a lot harder to get there than someone who doesn't have the same genetics as you.
Also, like, a guy with fat arms, which is very rare, you have to really look at that diet and, like, consider what's going on hormonally. But that's interesting. Yeah, I've noticed genetics do play a similar issue amongst some family members. Well, there you go. So that's already giving you insight, really. So basically, again, you can see people who come from like a family who maybe struggle genetically in certain areas, but all that means is you just have to be a bit more. You have to be a bit more conscious of it within your lifestyle. So, for example, if you're someone who you know in your family, like, there's high cholesterol, then you have to be careful about how much fat you include in your diet, even if fat is promoted as something that's healthy.
Yeah.
So genetics play a part. There's a reason, like, there's a lot of things that, like, kind of flow. That's why there's a lot of families where elite sportsmen are produced. If you look at John Jones, there's 3 of them. They're all giants, bro. Yeah. 2 brothers in the NFL, and he's like the youngest, like, heavyweight champion ever. They're all giants. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. But also, don't use genetics as an excuse all the time, bro. Because, for instance, if you come from a family and there's loads of fat people in your family, maybe your family just eats shit food, innit?
That's the other side,
People think they're genetically fat, but when I look at their bone structure, I'm like, bro, you're not meant to be fat.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like, you got really skinny wrists, skinny ankles, and that. Like, you know, there's some people, if they've got really thick necks and, like, broad shoulders and that, you can see genetically they're quite broad and they're thick.
Yeah, some people are thick set.
Yeah, you know, like when you look at Rooney and that, then he's thick set. He was never meant to be skinny anyway. He was always going to be stocky. Like, do you know what I'm saying? There's certain man, if you're skinny, and if you've got skinny ankles, skinny wrists, and you still manage to be fat, bro, like, it's your diet. It's not your genetics, because your frame is not big.
Yeah, and historically, if you, like you just said, like, if you look at a lot of these families, like, if you actually look at them, their lifestyles, there's a lot of sedentary people that consume too much food. So like we spoke about last week, in many, let's just not say black and generalize that, but let's say West Indian, African, and Asian cultures, the diets often contain too many refined carbohydrates. Yeah, and a high amount of it. Like, it's a known thing, like you said, to have the itis, like to have a huge meal that's like a mountain, essentially, finish it, and then not be able to move for an hour. That was like a normal part. Fortunately, if you happen to be sporty when you come from a lifestyle like that, you can override it when you're young. Yeah. Obviously, if you're then sedentary with a diet like that, and let's say, for example, like, a lot of people like to go and get fish and chips on a Friday night. If your family do that religiously and then you drink beer and then you're sedentary, you're going to get fat.
Yeah. But this is it. And it's not because genetically you're fat, it's because you're not eating well. And when it's generations of eating well, when you're growing up and seeing you've got fat aunties, fat cousins, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're fat genetically, bro. It
Yeah.
just means that the lifestyle within the family is not correct, bro. So a lot of people put down their excuse for being fat is, well, all my brothers and sisters are fat and my aunties are fat too. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, like sometimes it's not that, bro. Like, I mean, because nobody's born fat, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? No one's just born and they're destined to be fat forever. That's not a thing.
Well, you've seen this new thing they speak about, right? Well, it's not new, but it's kind of like if you want to sound really smart, you bring it up as a word. And the word is that epigenetics. And it's like your genetic expression. And the whole thing is that they believe now, and a lot of like smart nutritionists believe that if you will actually, you can actually influence someone's genetic expression by the foods and lifestyle they have. And so ultimately, it's like if people actually alter their way of living and alter what they take in, you can actually influence that genetic expression. Like how
Yeah.
many people have we seen that have great genetics, but they're fat and lethargic? Well, like your genetics are amazing. Like what you're actually born with is amazing, but you just let yourself go for whatever reason that
Bro,
is.
like I've had fat male clients, yeah. And when I look at him, I was like, bro, I'd love to have your carbs, bro. Like,
Yeah.
man's got massive carbs, big forearms. I'm like, bro, if you stripped all this fat down, your physique would be nuts.
You'd be a machine.
Yeah.
Certain man, you just know.
Yeah.
Like you just know they come in, there's certain women as well, they just come in, you're like, listen, man, it's just lifestyle for you.
Yeah.
It's just a lifestyle thing.
And for
And
most
so
people,
that's the big thing. I think it's just removing this mountain, like, because often people see it as a mountain that they can't climb. It's like, nah, like my genetics are just not there. And actually, it's kind of like, do you know what? No, let's peel it back. Let's kind of look at the evidence of this thing. Like, let's what's it? Hormones hit particular areas of the body shape, three different. Yeah and no. So he's referring to somatotypes.
yeah.
Well, yeah and no, because
Nobody's
the
one
problem,
anyway. That's a myth.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So the problem is there's too much of a crossover. Because if you got this thing is talking about ectomorphs, mesomorphs, and endomorphs, which was kind of like a thing they developed to suggest that these are people's set things. So I would be your traditional mesomorph. I'm like right in the middle by definition. I'm short, stocky, play a lot of sports, pick up sports quick. I'm quite coordinated. I'd be your traditional mesomorph. Can put on body fat, can also lose it quite quickly. Your endomorph would be someone who's a bit fatter, who naturally struggles. Maybe they're a bit more pear-shaped. And your ectomorph would be more skinny, taller people. So if you looked at a sport, your ectomorph would be more of your marathon runner, your meso would be more of your sprinter, and your endo would be more of your sumo wrestler.
Yeah. And again, to me,
I don't know if we could be that direct with that.
To me, that's a myth, bro, because then I'm all of them then.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I'm all of them. When you look at my physique, yeah, people look at my physique. I've got very long arms, long legs, quite a lean build, very defined muscular. Yeah. But if I don't eat well, I can get fat comfy.
Yeah.
You know them ones. My body's so adaptable. I can lose weight just as quickly as I can put it on.
Yeah.
I've got a lean frame, small waist, like a 30-inch waist. Do you know what I'm saying? So, bro, like I'm all of them. It just depends on how I choose to eat.
Yeah.
And what exercise I'm doing. So
yeah, I think, look, we can't hide from the fact that some people can lose fat quicker. We can't hide from the fact that some people can gain muscle quicker. But, and it's a big but, I think, again, we're at the risk of kind of using these things as excuses. Like, oh yeah, I'm an endomorph, so I'm always going to be a bit fatter. It's like, well, yeah, you're an endomorph, but have you ever been an endomorph that eats a really clean, lean diet? Like, have you ever tried that? Because I know that realistically, a lot of elite bodybuilders probably sit more towards that side.
Yeah.
Like more like meso endo, but these guys are leaner than anyone you know. Because you kind of need that genetic to be able to get that big and still hold muscle mass. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I agree that that's relevant, but I don't think we can completely like say it exclusively.
It's true. It's true. Now this is about leptin levels, and this is about, and again, like this other thing, yeah, of having a cheat day and all these other things and all these other things.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with all of this shit is, firstly, most of you man ain't disciplined enough to deserve one. You know them ones there. Because
Bro, you're being harsh today, boy. Rago.
no, but I have to. These man know what I'm like, innit? Like I have to give it to you more, bro. Like that's what I'm on.
Yeah.
You know them ones. None of you man ever. You man will never even smell ketosis, blood. You'll never. Like, you know what I mean? The insulin levels will never be so low, yeah. That like you really need a cheat day. Like no, but most normal human beings don't have the discipline to get there. Do you see what I mean? Like,
Maximum will never ever smoke it.
they'll never smell it, bro. They'll never smell it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they will never get. Their man are like leptin and all these other things and overcomplicating the thing, bro. You shouldn't be living life like a bodybuilder. You're not a bodybuilder. So because of that, you don't have to worry about leptin and ketosis and that insulin sensitivity and all that, bro, because you're not going to the extreme levels. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You're not.
I would also say as well, like the problem with cheat days and one-off days is that that cheat day can set people on a path, man. And like people can often go over their whole week's worth of spare calories in that cheat day. Like that's very common.
They say 3,500 calories for a pound, yeah? So that's 500 calorie deficit a day.
Yeah.
I could eat 3,500 calories in a cheat day.
100%. Easily. Like I could easily have a Haagen-Dazs
and a tub of ice cream, you're done.
Yeah.
Large pizza and a tub of ice cream, you've put on weight, even though you've been dieting a week.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people do that. That's the mistake a lot of people make. So in that off day, they consume too much energy.
Exactly. And you know
what? I'm gonna keep calling it energy so people understand. Like when I say energy, I'm referring to calories. But basically, that when we say you've put in too much energy, it means you basically put in more energy than you've burned.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're right.
That's what I said. Most of you men are not disciplined to even know what that's like, innit? You see me, yeah. When I got to my leanest and I was ripped and I knew I was going on holiday, this is how I tackled it, yeah. And when I tell you, yeah, I calculated calories, counted calories. I'm not telling you to do this because I don't think it's healthy, innit? However, it's one of them ones where I needed to do it for me because I'm someone who I need to see things. I need to see what 2,300 calories looks like. So I'll weigh everything, like from the almonds to everything I was weighing, bro.
Oh, you weigh your food, yeah?
No, I used to. Now I don't. Do you know what I mean? But like when I got to my most shredded and my biggest, bro, like when I was working in the gym, and how I did it was, I worked out my base calories for maintenance. I subtracted about 400 calories. I worked out all my percentages, so I was probably on about 40% protein, 40% fats, 20% carbs. And then on my cheat day, I only went up to maintenance calories, but I flipped it. So I went up to 60% carbs.
Yeah. So you got carbs for the days when you're back on your diet.
Exactly. So what I done was I was on 20% carbs on normal days. And on my cheat day, I upped the carbs massively, and then I dropped my fats and my protein, but I only went up to maintenance level. So even on my cheat day, I still tracked my calories, so I didn't go over. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of people on the cheat day don't track.
That's too much, bro, man. That would give me a headache.
Yeah, but I only done that because I was going on a holiday, and I thought, I'm gonna have full muscle bellies and I'm gonna be shredded. And you see, when you do the refeed, with the carbs, the next day you look amazing, bro. Because all your muscle bellies, because you get flat when you deplete your glycogen.
Yeah, cool.
Then, bro, like I literally got to the point where I made pizza like at home, bro. So I bought the cheese, but I bought low-fat cheese because it was a high-carb day. You know what I mean? I did my own pizza bases, make my own cheese, and then because I was keeping the fats down, I would put chicken on top instead of having like other red meat when I was eating. And I used to make my own pizzas with the tomato sauce, and I used to have a tub of ice cream, and I used to calculate my calories so that I could enjoy it. And I found the best way, is accountability, bro. That's it. There's no way about it. You can't just be like, you know what? You know how much damage you can do in 16 hours of weight, blood, if you're eating all day and it's your cheat day?
Yeah, you're right.
You could clap 5,000 calories. There's no accountability, bro.
Yeah, I could.
Have a cheat day, bro. Have a cheat meal, if you're gonna have a cheat.
Yeah, That's the best thing. Like, the cheat meal is the thing people should have, not a cheat day. A cheat day is suicide.
What I do is, what you're craving for in the week, have that one meal.
And it actually becomes better because you can kind of look forward to having that meal. The reality is we must not shy away from the fact also that just unhealthy food on a regular basis is just bad for you.
Yep.
It's bad for your body, and eventually you're gonna suffer. You're almost definitely shortening your lifespan by eating really bad. And like, you might give me your uncle or auntie who smoked forever, and ate what they want, and lived a long life, but they're an anomaly.
Yep, absolutely, bro.
They're not the people to kind of refer to.
Exactly. So, like, when it comes to either putting on weight, losing weight, anything to do with progress, accountability is key, bro. All you guys that say you want to put on weight, they're telling me I eat enough. How do you know? Do you track your calories? Because if you don't know how many calories you've eaten in a day, how do you know you've eaten enough? I promise to God you haven't. Because when I was force feeding myself, bro. I was going into the staff room at the gym with like a big plastic container, of white rice, chicken flipping breast, and spinach, bro, and wolfing it down. I had to reheat it 3 times. I was eating one day I had to eat 1 kilogram of sweet potatoes in weight, bro. I made sweet potatoes.
If I'm honest, the one time I tried to, I took consultancy for nutrition on weight gain. That's when I realized I wasn't consuming enough.
Yeah.
And I also realized I don't want to consume enough. Because, bro, like you said, it's a full-time job. You've seen those guys, bro. The Tupperwares are everywhere. One guy was telling me the other day, showed me a picture of his cousin. It was some bodybuilder somewhere. He's like, was at my nan's funeral the other day, and he had to pop out during the funeral to go eat his Tupperware, bro. I'm like, I can't live like that.
I was at my brethren's wedding, and the brer had his Tupperwares, blood. He was competing. He didn't even eat the wedding food, blood. He had his own Tupperware and was eating out the Tupperware at a wedding.
At his own wedding?
No, at my friend's wedding, and he was the best man. He was eating at the Tupperwares, blood.
That's what I'm saying.
In his suit, looking mad uncomfortable in the suit, blood.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I rate it. I rate the discipline, but it's just not me, bro. Not gonna happen.
It's not the one, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's not the one, and that's the thing, Find out why you want to put on weight, why you want to lose weight. The chances are it's going to look better. There's a lot less stressful ways, guys, to do it, other than this. And then this bodybuilder route, either way, where you're trying to put on muscle and you're literally wolfing down food and you're doing it to the point where you feel sick and I ruined my whole relationship with chicken breast. I can't eat it no more. Like, bro, like when I was trying to keep the fats down, and get protein, and I ate so much chicken breast that, like, when I finished doing the bulk and I lost all the weight, I never ate chicken breast again, bro. Like I could only eat chicken with the skin on it and thighs and stuff. I couldn't eat chicken breast no more because it's dry anyway. And when you when you're eating about 5 kilograms of chicken breast a week, which I was, bro, never again.
Oh, bro, man, literally like that. There's nothing that has no appeal to me, bro. No appeal.
However, that's what I'm saying, bro. We'll take a few more of these before we wrap up. Have you seen? But no, what's football, man? Yeah, but there you go. The best people.
Yeah, you're right.
Accountability, bro.
Well, the reality is if you don't, it's guesswork, innit? Like, it's guesswork unless you have it written down. I heard a great quote the other day. Basically, the quote said, "The faintest pencil is better than the best mind." And basically, it was in reference to note taking. And the guy was like, "Listen, like, most people couldn't tell you what they ate 3 days ago.
Yep.
3 days ago, most people couldn't tell you what they ate. And so the reality is like, you may be one of these people who's like, yeah, but I eat enough or I eat well. It's like, do you know what you've eaten? Have you actually assessed what you've eaten? Can we actually go through this?" And often what you'll find is when you start to look at it and you just dig, there's pure evidence, like empirical evidence, all of a sudden it becomes different, bro. That's a PTSD from chicken breast. That's funny. Bro, so you got PTSD from chicken breast.
Yeah, bro, I hate it. Like, it upsets me, bro. Like, just the thought of chicken breast triggers me. It angers me, bro. The times when I was eating chicken breast and plain basmati rice here with hot sauce on it. It's pissing me, bro. I hate it. And that's what I mean. Like, as I say, like, nobody, you don't, like, if I'm coming to link you and I'm coming to your house, bro, I'm not gonna guess. I'm gonna know how I'm getting there before I leave the house.
Yeah.
And that's how training is, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? You need to know where your destination. You have to plan a route, and you have to track it, bro. If you're looking at a sat nav, bro, you don't just look at the roads, and be like, yeah, I know where I'm going. No, you don't, bro. You're constantly checking the sat nav. Did I take the right turning? How far do I got to go before I take this right turn? Like, if you're training and you're not mapping, if you don't know how many reps you've done, yeah, in your session, how do you know you're progressively overloading your body to grow?
Yeah.
You don't know what weight you lifted because it comes down to volume. If I've done 15 reps at 40 kilograms, certain man go into the gym and then just pull the thing down and do that, but they don't know where they were last time. They're just like, yeah, this feels like the last time, but maybe you got stronger though, and now it's lighter.
Yeah, it's also like, and look, I don't say this, I say this humbly, but also I say people should seek advice, man. Like, even a good program from a gym instructor is good enough. Like, but when I see people do certain exercises, and I'm like, jokes aside, what can you feel when you do that exercise? Like, if you just consciously think about what you actually like, I'm putting my arm up because the lat pull down is the machine I see incorrectly used. So when I used to work in Nuffield in the city, I picked up, I reckon 75% of my clients I picked up from the lat pull down machine, just correcting the technique on it. And you know, like, people would turn a lat pull down machine into like a shrug because they have it behind their head and they're flexed and they're doing this. And I would just teach them how to retract their scapula, actually use their lats properly. And the point is, it's like, when you exercise, it's kind of like, what are you feeling? What are you training for? So like you just said, it's kind of like, if this feels really easy, there's like no challenge. It's very likely, or it's very unlikely, sorry, that your muscles are going to change. It's very likely that what you're doing is just not that effective. It's very likely.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we would say. Definitely get help, guys. Like, it's one of them ones where, like, there's people that get paid to know these things. They're not all good. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely shared gyms with my fair share of dead PTs. However, I promise you still know more than you. You know there was there. Even if you know,
bro, I worked with a trainer who, no word of a lie, I watched him in one day. He had 6 clients back to back, and they all done the same program. Back to back.
You see what I'm saying? But that one dead program they done is probably better than a lot of men are doing on a normal day. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's levels. It's like bare man will watch certain footballers and be like, yeah, they're shit. Yeah, but they're better than you though. Do you know what I mean? They are. But do you know what I'm saying? But they're shit for pros, but they're still better than you. You know them, man. So that's just what it is, bro. Like, you can always learn, always get an opinion, bro. Always get an opinion. Like, knowing what muscle you're training as well. Bare people, like, I had one guy say to me, oh, I can do bare pull-ups when my back's not growing. And I was like, yeah, but your biceps are big though. So that means
there's no retraction happening in the pull-ups,
activation of your lats at all, bro.
None.
That's
Zero.
why your back's not growing. Do you know what I mean?
Zero. You just know it straight away.
You know what I mean? That's why your biceps are so big and you've got no width in your back, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no reason why you can bang out pull-ups, and you don't have a back, bro, unless you're using the wrong muscle, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? You're literally
100%.
It's like man's just doing leg curls, blood, with his arms. Like, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's why man's got
100%. Because it's
so
like, I can do a lot of pull-ups, but my biceps are not big.
Yeah.
For the exact opposite reason, in that my back keeps getting wider because I only retract when I do it.
There you go. And when you activate your back, your lats, that's why my wide pull-ups, I can do just as many wide as I can narrow, bro, because my biceps aren't particularly strong, bro.
Yeah.
It's the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I come closer, like, to try and cheat, I don't really get that many more out of it, bro. It's like, once my back's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, when you're doing an exercise, know what, if you can't feel the muscle, again, that might be a reason why you're not growing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different components of training, and the fact that we've covered so many today shows you that it's not easy, guys. So when you're coming from a background of little to no knowledge, the best thing you can do, find someone that knows what they're doing to help you, bro, or else people will be running around in circles.
Yeah, hit me in the DMs, man. Like, look, Right now, I've got more
AP,
time than normal.
next
Hit me up.
when you come in, yeah, put your at in next instead of your name in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I put mine in today. I don't normally, but someone else did last time they came in, and it made me realize. So
Okay, yeah.
you go. Actually, I think you can. 1 second. I think you can. You can do it now, brother. I think. Hold on. If I pop you out quickly. Yeah. Hold on. Put it in. Where is it? Yeah. Put your You can come out and come back in still, and then put your at the bottom.
All right, let me do it now. 1 sec.
Yeah. So do that. Do you know what I mean? And he'll put his at in the bottom. Yeah. DM him on Instagram. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Big PT. You know what I mean? Top high-end clients, works in central London, bare experience. Do you know what I'm saying? And he'll be able to give you advice. Also, if you look at his Instagram page, there's loads of videos, there's loads of different things here that you can learn from there. Like it's important. Where is he gone? 1 second. There he is. Yeah, there he is. There he is.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. So that's his at there. So do you know what I mean? Make sure you follow that on Instagram. And there's loads of videos, bro. Like there's loads of different things. Even while we're in quarantine, he's got home workouts, loads of things that you can be getting on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hit workouts up that people can do. Just what I'm saying. Like, why obviously not everyone's got equipment.
That's what I'm saying. So while we're in the lockdown, guys, it's all about keeping moving, yeah. And it's a journey, innit? Like you can't do everything at once. The biggest mistake you come across is people want to lose weight, put on muscle, get fit, all at the same time, bro. You can't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
You
saying?
got to prioritize the goal.
Exactly. Prioritize what's the most important thing to you, and then you tackle each thing at a time, bro. Even when you look at bodybuilders, that's why they periodize their training. They have a time where they're putting on muscle, they have a time where they're losing body fat. They don't try and do both at the same time. And if they can't do it with all the drugs they're on, you got no chance. You know, like that.
Well, do you know, I can't lie. Yeah, I should even say this on video. I've always wanted to know what it feels like to be on juice.
Nah, if I was on juice, I'd have even more haters. You know the ones. It's not worth it. You know the ones. Because you know when man genetically we're all right anyway, and we know how to train. If man was on juice, bro, later. Nah. Wow. You know what I'm saying, boy, man would just be getting bare hate mail, fam. You know them ones. So nah, it's all right. I'm too health conscious for that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nah, me too, word. And I just couldn't, like, I could never ever take credit for what I've done again in full.
Yeah, I couldn't know.
It does take work, but I know I've cheated.
I'd know I was cheating deep down, innit? Yeah. You know that was there, like certain man be gassing, they're still natural to this day, bruv, and their biceps are bigger than their head. Like, there's nothing natural about that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's not natural, bro.
Bro, it's like it's when you just know, innit? But you know, you can't say anything because you just sound like a hater, so you just have to stay silent and just kind of look from the side.
Like the man with the lateral deltoid, and they're like, "What? Your deltoid doesn't pop?" I said, "That's not a deltoid pops." You know, like that. Man's got the deltoid popping out the side, bro. Like if you look like Jay Cutler, bro, you're on juice, man.
Yeah, 100%. 100 word. And that's the thing.
Like you need more like rear delt and that and all this, bruv. You're on juice, fam. You can have any delt you want, blood. You can have delts that aren't even in the body, fam, because you're on juice, fam.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
So this is what it is, man. So guys, make sure you follow. Yeah, make sure you follow KP's Insta, yeah, and check out the videos and that. Interact with the content on there, bruv. There's loads of stuff on there for you, man. So we're always here at the same time, same place every week. So if you got any questions, if you got other things that you want to discuss, bro, put them in the comment section, innit? Because obviously when we come off air, I still check the comments and I'll look at the comments and then we'll speak about them on the next one. Do you know what I mean?
100%. It's easier when we got like requests and stuff because then we can kind of cover that information or kind of cover that topic, and give you information about it.
Exactly. So big up everyone that watched. Yeah. Make sure you hit Insta as well. Make sure you follow KP's Instagram. Interact with the content on there. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of information for you on there, and we'll just keep bringing it to you every week the same time, man.
Yeah. Word.
All right. In a bit.
Big up.
Yeah. Cool.